Before Serena's world fractured, it was a quiet, safe place. The kind of world where the mornings smelled like cinnamon toast, and her mother's laughter drifted like sunlight through the curtains. She was only 13, but her heart was already tethered to her mother's with invisible threads. Every bedtime story, every gentle brush of her hair, every whispered, "I love you," had woven a cocoon of comfort around her. Her mother wasn't just a parent. She was home, but nothing lasts forever. Grief doesn't knock. It doesn't ask permission. It seeps in through the cracks, slow and silent, until suddenly you're drowning in it. When the sickness first came, it was just fatigue, a few missed dinners, a laugh that didn't quite reach the eyes. No one panicked. Not at first. But then came the doctor's appointments, the whispered conversations Serena wasn't meant to hear, the nights her mother didn't come to tuck her in because she was too tired, too sick. Still, Serena held on to her mother's soft hand in the sterile glow of hospital rooms, held on to the smiles her mother gave, even when her body trembled with pain, held on to the promises that things would be okay, even when Serena could see in her mother's eyes that they both knew better. Then one day the smile stopped, and the silence that followed was louder than anything Serena had ever known. A year passed, a year of gray days and numb mornings, a year of learning how to live with an empty space that once held the universe. Her father changed. He became quieter, more distracted, more distant. And then he met Vivian. Vivian came into their lives like sunlight after a long storm. Or so it seemed. She was beautiful, magazine beautiful, with perfect lipstick and effortless charm. She smiled a lot, laughed at all the right times. She brought flowers to the house, cooked new recipes, filled the rooms with her scent. At first, Serena tried. She really tried. Maybe this was what her father needed. Maybe they could be a family again. But something about Vivian never sat right. She was too polished, too eager, too quick to take over. She started by redecorating. Harmless things at first. New curtains, a fresh coat of paint. But then she began replacing items that held memories. Serena's favorite armchair, where she used to curl up with her mom. The chipped mug her mother used every morning. Gone, replaced. And with them, parts of Serena disappeared too. Vivian wasn't content just being a new presence. She wanted to become the only presence. She slipped into Serena's life like a shadow pretending to be light. She called Serena's mother's belongings dusty and old-fashioned. She donated them without asking. She called Serena's favorite childhood toys clutter, her habits bad routines. One by one, Vivian erased her mother from the house, from the pictures, the walls, the air, and then she went further. Vivian began using the same phrases Serena's mother used to say. "You're enough, just as you are," she said one night, in the same tone, the same rhythm. She made Serena's favorite meal, not from her own recipe, but her mother's. She began dressing in similar colors, wearing her hair in the same style. It was eerie, wrong. That's when Serena realized Vivian wasn't just trying to replace her mother. She was trying to replace her. The house didn't feel like home anymore. It felt like a stage, like Serena was being written out of her own story. But she refused to disappear. So she began a quiet rebellion. She searched the attic, the basement, old drawers for pieces of her mother that Vivian hadn't yet found. She discovered a box of letters, a faded photograph album, a scarf that still smelled faintly of lavender. She hid them in secret places, inside old books, behind loose floorboards. They became her treasures, her proof that the past mattered, that her mother had been, that Serena still was. The battle was invisible. No shouting, no slam doors, just two women, one growing, one clinging, circling each other like quiet storms. Then one day, Vivian saw Serena clutching a picture of her mother, tears in her eyes. "You need to let go, Serena," she said gently, with that polished smile. "You can't hold on to the past forever." And something inside Serena snapped. She waited until the house was quiet. until her father left for an overnight trip. The words burned in her throat, but they wouldn't wait any longer. You tried to replace her, Serena said, standing in the doorway of the living room, fists clenched. And then you tried to replace me. Vivian turned, startled. For a moment, she didn't speak. Her perfect mask faltered. A flicker of guilt, or maybe fear, passed through her eyes. I just wanted to belong, she whispered. I didn't know how else to. You don't belong by erasing someone else, Serena said firmly, her voice shaking but steady. You can't just steal pieces of someone's life and expect to fit in. Vivian didn't respond. Maybe she knew there was no defense. Maybe she didn't care anymore. Maybe a small part of her finally understood. By the end of the week, she was gone. But it wasn't a happy ending. Not exactly. Serena's father apologized, but some wounds cut too deep for words. Trust, once broken, doesn't knit itself back together overnight. Still, Serena didn't crumble. She wasn't empty. She had her mother's letters, her scent on that scarf, her voice in Serena's head, reminding her that she was enough. And more than anything, she had herself again. Piece by piece, Serena rebuilt her world. She let go of the bitterness, but kept the love. She stopped trying to forget and started choosing what to remember. She grew stronger, more certain, more whole. Grief never really leaves. It just changes shape. But so does love. And Serena had both. And